Hello there, viewers. Good day to you guys. Welcome back to the channel. Glad you guys are here. I am super glad to be here as always. Today, we're going to be working on a 1987 Nissan 300ZX. It's for sale too. I think it's a ZX. It might just be a Z. I don't really know the designations. But I'm having a hard time figuring out what to do with this because the complaint is customer states vacuum solenoid is dead. Now that's not very descriptive. I'm not really sure what vacuum solenoid is dead means. So I'm taking a look at this car and I've looked at all the vacuum lines on it. I've done a smoke test to it and I don't have any vacuum leaks. We do have several vacuum solenoids for various systems. So we called the guy back and he's like, I don't really know which one, but I think it's the one inside of the dash. So I translated that into my head so you're not getting any cold air out of the dash. I'm assuming that it's an AC issue because the AC is not blowing any cool air out of the upper vents. So I'm assuming that the customer has assumed that the vacuum solenoid that operates the blend door in the dash is no longer functioning. That's what I think is going on here because I can't get vent activity up top. I think I have some at the defrost and I think there's some down at the floor. Now that's usually the default setting on a blend door actuator, or a blend door for that matter, when it's not energized, when it's just at rest. So in order to change that to your center vents, you'd hit the button, it would open up the vacuum diaphragm, which would then pull the lever and then open or close the door to redirect the airflow to where we want it. Now because of that, and since I determined it was an AC issue, first thing I was going to do is prove out that the system is even functioning, hence the AC machine over here. Now, we have the thing connected to it. This is actually an R12 refrigerant system because it's from the 80s, but it's been converted to 134 by way of different adapters that go onto the service valves. Now, I have the thing running, obviously. The AC is turned on. You see the clutch is going right there. And I'm looking at our pressures and we're almost drawing a vacuum down here. Now this right here tells me immediately that the system is low on a charge. So if I feel the lines, I do feel a little bit of cool here and I do feel a little bit of heat here on the high side, but there's nowhere near enough to actually begin cooling inside of this vehicle. Now today, it's a super cool day out. It's only about 88 degrees and it's overcast here in sunny Florida. So on a 90-degree day, 95-degree day, this thing does not have a chance of cooling with or without the center vents working because we have no refrigerant in the system to carry it over. So what I'm going to do here, we're going to add a little bit of refrigerant to this bad boy. I'm probably just going to go with like 0.6 pounds and see what happens because I'm not going to pull it down all the way. But I do want to get some refrigerant in there so we can at least get some heat moving through the system. So we're going to add 0.6 pounds to the low side right here. So as that refrigerant's coming in, the compressor is going to go ahead and get a hold of it, suck it up, pressurize it, send it out to the high side and send it on its way so it can begin its life inside of the system. While this thing is doing that, we're going to try to stick our brains inside of the dash down here and we're going to see if we cannot locate the door actuator that is preventing center vent actuation on this thing's interior. If I can figure out how to move the seat, man. This is it's an 80s car. It's a really nice 80s car, I'll tell you that. Usually you find them, they're all destroyed. This one looks like it's lived in a garage. But anyway, let's try to dig out those actuators / solenoids and see if I can't see what the dealio is. So stay tuned because this will be a very good AC diagnostic video. There's that lever. Slide that seat back. I don't like to touch other people's shoes. No offense to other people, but I'm not a fan of the feet. We gotta get these things out of here right now. We're gonna just put those out back where they're safe. So I think what I need to do, we're gonna get a Phillips screwdriver and pull this glove box and the glove box backing area out of it and see if we can't see inside. All right, so I've got to do this with a little bit of grace because I do recognize that this plastic is like 40 years old and it's probably very brittle and I don't want to break it, especially at the hinge area, unless this thing just pops out, which I don't think it does. Now it's gonna, we gotta unbolt it. So we'll take our big Phillips here. I brought the long one so I could get past the box. It's almost too long. It's running into the seat. Now when I remove this whole backing area and the door itself should come out. No problem. So what I'm thinking is that if I have vacuum actuation at the solenoid back there, I believe it's vacuum operated. If I have vacuum to command those vents open and the actual diaphragm is not reacting to the vacuum, then we will have a situation where we have a failed actuator, which I hope it's not that, because I don't think I can find any parts for this car. I really don't. I may have to just rig something together to make this all work here. So it looks to me like I need to pull this latch business out of here as well. But 10 millimeters of socket. This latch also appears to have a wire running to it. Yep, that's the button that turns the light on and off. I don't even know how that comes out of there. Yeah, we're getting somewhere. There's another light. That bulb doesn't even work. See that? This guy. Ah, there's the connector up top. See that? There she is. Weird Nissan stuff. Very weird Nissan stuff. I need to call Fluffy Mexicanic, ask him how these connectors work. That's some whole new level of engineering right there. Look at that. I don't even know what to do with this. That's crazy. Well, I found something. I found the cold air. So the machine over there is done charging. It's recharging the low refrigerant, and it's definitely making cold air now, right? And I have found one of the door actuators. It is a vacuum operated unit. You see it right up there? It's got these those electric solenoids on it with a couple vacuum lines running down. Those are not responding to the commands of the head unit over here. And so the head unit, that tells me that it's either a vacuum issue or an electronic issue that's not allowing this solenoid here to operate like it should be, or actuator I should say. But the bigger problem that I found, remember I said I found the cold air? I'm getting a boatload of airflow way up here, and it's nice, cool air. It feels great. I get some coming out right here. There's a seal between the air box where the evaporator is and where the blower motor is over here. This is where the blend door is located, or the mode door, recirculation door. There we go, one of the doors. Well, there's a leak right here between this seal and this box. That looks like a brand new seal right there, or something close to a newish seal. But we're getting a lot of AC actuation, or AC airflow up here on top of the box, and we're not getting almost any out of here and very little coming out of the vents up here. I think that there is a leak at the ducting connection inside the dash right here. So short of moving around that other actuator right there with some pliers, actually let me try that. Bring get some pliers and try to move that actuator to see if I can't find where that airflow is going. But what I think is going to happen here is I'm going to have to pull this dash out to reconnect that. Based on that new seal that's in there, I think somebody went in and maybe replaced the evaporator or fixed a couple blend doors or something, and I don't think that they got the connection right with the ducting, which means it'll have to come back apart again. The duct is not connected, and I can't fix it with duct tape. That's not going to work. Okay, so we're looking down in there again past that that vacuum actuator. And you guys, I think you can see the linkage in there. I'm gonna go in with some needle noses. We're gonna pull on that linkage and actuate it. Oh, I just felt the door pop. That's not good. And looks like that solenoid's flopping around everywhere too, actuator. Yeah, when I operate the door, it's flexing quite a bit. I believe this is just the recirculation door, because it is on the side that has the blower motor, but it's not affecting the leak, and I'm not getting any airflow anywhere. So I need to figure out where this source of airflow is coming from, and I cannot see up there one little bit. I don't think you guys can either. I think I'm gonna need to pull this dash out to find out what happened to the airflow. This is not the result I expected today. That's gonna be the second one where the dash has to come out. Let me show you another one. I got a Miata over here. Troy's working on this one, but we had to pull that apart as well. Yeah, see, we have what seems to look like a normal Miata, except the dash is sitting on the seats. Troy broke it, right? Yeah, this one, it's got a leaky evaporator core, but it's gonna be a similar procedure. We gotta pull the dash out, get a hold of the box assembly, and then we can pay attention to where all the ducting is and figure out what's leaking up on top of that thing over there. Keeping that duct in mind on that back unit, let's try to look at the bottom of this one here. I don't see where the vents, oh, here we go, yeah. See, here's a vent running right here. There's another one on the other side. Well, this master vent plugs in right there to the outlet vent right here on the box. I think that's what's leaking on the other car, is the seal between the top of the box and all of the duct work inside of the dash. So we need to figure out what's disconnected, what's not lined up. Maybe the seal blew out of it. Maybe rats went in there and they ate holes and everything. But from where we're sitting on that car currently, I cannot tell. So we have to remove the dash in order to make any headway on that. In other news though, the AC pressures came up a little bit with the limited amount of refrigerant we installed, but that is moot at this point. It serves us no purpose, because even though it is making cold air in the dash, we can't get the cold air out of the dash. So I need to go back to the well, call my guy up, tell him what we need to do, and see if he's prepared to perform surgery on this old Nissan right here. Actually, I don't even know if I'm prepared to do surgery on this thing. I fear it's gonna break coming apart. But that's also like some of the risks we have to take when you're working on 30-year-old cars. Anyway, guys, like I said, I gotta call my guy up and kind of upgrade the severity level of this job. So that being said, unfortunately, I have nothing more to offer on this particular diag at this time. We kind of got somewhere. I figured out what it's not, and I figured out what the issue really is. But it's going to be a major repair at this point. So is it worth it? What do you guys think? This is a very, very old, it's a nostalgic car. It's in great shape, but it's been around the block for a while. I would say that the repair on this is roughly probably 10 to 15% of the value of the car as it is. Now, if somebody were to do that work all by themselves and not have to pay a shop to do it, it might be more cost effective. But stuff like this, it's kind of hard to justify outsourcing the work on it. Work that needs to be done on it, where it's just because of its age and its value. And it's probably not a commuter car either, so it's not a need. This is more of a want kind of car. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the matter. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comment section down below. As always, do not forget to engage that like and subscribe button while you're down there. And most importantly, have yourselves a fantastic day. See you guys later in a video, in a day, in a transmission.